Hey everyone, welcome back to GIS Gallery. In today's video, we continue our Python basics for GIS programming series with a very important topic, dictionaries and dictionary methods. Dictionaries allow us to store data in key value pairs, which is extremely useful in GIS when working with attributes, field mappings, layer information, and configurations. If you're finding this series useful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We have more Python, GIS, and automation tutorials coming up.
We got is dictionary. Okay, so dictionary is an unordered collection of key value pairs. So what you want to note here is like the values will be given as key and value pairs. Okay, so the elements will not be stored by themselves but as key and value pairs. Okay, so that's how you can recognize this dictionary. Okay, so the elements won't be stored by themselves but as key and value pairs stored inside a curly bracket. Okay, so yeah, so I could just create a dictionary of class, right? So I could just give the variable name dict1 equal to curly bracket and then element stored by will be it gave me your key value pairs here. So I could just give something like okay, I could just give something like name. Okay, name I'll be giving as okay, and then age I can give it like so this is how you store your key value pair. Okay, so the first value that you give, the first element that you give will be the key, and the value that you give after this column will be considered as your value. Okay, so this is a key value pair of name argument, and this is another key value pair of age 20. Like we just give another key value pair of gender female. Other something like I could just give like place name, right? So I could just give like place. Okay, so this is a dictionary here. Okay, so this is my dictionary, and I could just bring my dictionary like this, and it will show me values of this key value pairs. Okay, and one thing that I told you is unordered. Okay, so there is no order in which your key and values are stored, and the keys must always be unique. Okay, so you cannot give duplicate keys in here. Okay, so if I'm just giving the same thing, okay, and I'm giving again age here, okay. So if I'm giving age again as maybe 24 here, and if I run this, okay, now you can see that it doesn't have two age values, okay. So it only has one age key, but the first age value or the value was overwritten by the second value, okay. So the keys should always be unique, okay, and these are immutable, okay. This is 23 is value. Value can be changed, okay, but this key, right, it cannot be changed. That is immutable, and then it cannot be ordered, okay, okay, yeah. So and yeah, so even though there is no order in here, which means you cannot index or slice the elements in here, but you can access the values inside a dictionary by using your keys. Okay. So in the case of list and tuple, we access the values inside them by using the index, right? We'll be giving the list name for bracket index. It give me that specific value. Okay. In here that is not possible, but we can use the same thing using our key. Okay. So if I want the value of name from here, I could just give this one square bracket and I'll be giving my key here. So I could just give name here, and it would give me the key for that and the value for that key. Okay. So even though there is no indexing here, I could use the same thing using the keys. Okay. So just remember this is unordered, which means there is no index, but we could access the values using keys. Okay. And if I want to do the same thing and change the values, I could also use it. So I told you like the keys cannot be changed, but the values inside them can be changed. Okay. So if I want to change the value of age in here, I could just give dict1 key name will be age, and I could assign a new value here now. Okay. So if I just give equal to 23, okay. So that new value has been assigned. And if we want to view it again, I can just print this dict1 again. And now you can see that the value of the key age has been changed. Okay. You can assign elements and you can change elements inside the dictionary by using your keys. Okay. So you can, just like your set methods, you have different operations or dictionaries also. Okay. So we will be seeing them now. These methods are so we have the get method, the keys method, the value method, items method, pop item, clear. Okay, so these are the methods available for your dictionary. So the first method I will be saying is get method. Okay, so the get method, it actually returns the value for key if the key is in the dictionary. Okay, so if you want to get the value of a key, okay, you can use the get method. Okay, and we also have a optional value that is default. Okay, so I have a dictionary here B. Okay, it has values A, key A and its value 1, key B and value 2. Okay, so if I want to get the value of key A, I could just give D dot get A. Okay, so if I just print that, I get 1 because the value of key A is 1. Okay, so you can do that. But if you don't have that specified key, okay, okay. So in here I'm trying to get the value of a key D which is not actually present in my set. Okay, so I only have A and B here. Okay, so if I run this, I'll get the value of none. Okay, so you get none because it's not present. Okay, and the optional value default here, right? So that is like if you want a specific value to be displayed, if there's that key is not present, you could just give like the key comma and then what you want to be displayed. Okay, so I could just give something like the specified key is not found or is not present. Okay, so now if I am giving the a here, okay, so if I'm trying to get the value of a here, it gives me the value of a. Okay, but if I'm trying to give a value that is not present, I'll get the whatever the value that I gave here. So that's why key is not present, it gives me that. Okay, so this is optional. So if you don't give this, it will just give you the result none. But if you are specifying a value, it shows that value if that specified key is not present. Okay. And similarly, you have the keys method and then values method. Okay. So the keys method will actually return only the keys in your dictionary. Okay. If I want to get only the keys in my dictionary, I could just give dictionary.keys method. Okay. So I have the dictionary A1, B2. If I want only the keys in here, I could just give d.keys. Okay. If I run d.keys, I'll get the output of A and B because that is the only keys that are present in here. Okay. Similarly, you also got the dictionary dot values method. Okay. So dictionary dot values method, it returns a new way of dictionary value. So just like keys, if you want only the values to be displayed, you could just give dot values. Okay. So for example, I have dictionary A1 and B2. So if I want just the values from here, I could just give print d dot values. Okay. And now if I just run this, I get the values of 1 and 2. Right? Yeah. Now, if I want both your key and value pairs to be displayed, you have a method that is called dot item. Okay. So when you're trying to loop your dictionary as Android, that's where we'll be using these dot values, dot keys, and dot items commonly. Okay. So when you're working, okay, next classes we'll be looking into looping and conditional statements. Okay. So that's where we'll be using these one most commonly. Okay. So yeah. So dot items will return a new view of dictionary's items. So items means its key and value pairs. Okay. So you have dictionary D of A1 and B2. So if you want the dictionary items, you could just give print D dot items, and D dot items will give the value of your key value pair. So you can see that your key value pairs are stored as tuples inside a list, right? You will get a list of collection of tuples of key and value pairs by using your dict.items method. Okay. And then you have the methods to remove items. So we have pop and pop item. Okay. So the pop method will remove the item with the specified key and returns its value. Okay. So if you specify key there, it removes that item. So which means it removes that key and value pair. Okay. And the optional value here it is that if the key is not found, okay, it returns the default given. Okay. Otherwise raises key error. So which means that, okay, so in here, okay, so I have dictionary A1 and B2. Okay. So if I want to remove this B2, I could just give D dot pop B. Okay. So I'm specifying the key, but it values both the key value pair. Okay. So if I run this, my only output is A and 1 because this two value was removed. Okay. So output is A and 1. Okay. But if I'm trying to remove something that is not already present, okay. So I'm trying to remove something that is not present, it will give me a key error. Okay. So if I'm not specifying something, it gives me a key error. But similar to your first get method, I could give a default value here. So in here, I could just give something like uh, key not found. Okay. So if I just give this and try to remove the same key, it doesn't show me an error. So what does it do? It just gives me the key not found. Okay. But if I am not specifying this default value, it will show me a, so if I am not specifying this default value, it will be showing, giving me a key error, to give me an error. If I am not specifying this value, okay, this optional statement will give me an error. If I don't want the program to show me an error, I will just give a statement like this. So what it does is, if the specified key is not found, it will be displaying this statement. Okay. But if I'm not giving this, If the specified key is not found, it will be showing me a key error. Okay, so that's a dot pop method. Similarly, you have the dot pop item method. The pop item method is it removes and returns the key value from the dictionary. So just like your dot pop method in set, it just removes an arbitrary key value prior. Okay, so just randomly removes it. Okay, so I have the dictionary A1 B2, and if I just give d dot pop item, this B2 value was removed, and if I just try to print the D, now the only value that is remaining is A1. Okay, so this B2 was removed and only A1 remains. And similarly, you have clear method. So just like before, if you want to clear the whole dictionary, you could just give the dot clear method. So if you just dot clear method, you will be getting an empty dictionary. Okay. So this is why the set had set given, because if you had this one, you might confuse it with a dictionary or a set. So that's why dictionary, an empty dictionary will show you like this, an empty set will just give you set. Okay. And similarly, if you want to update the dictionary with key value from some other, you can give the dot update method. So just like you said, if you want to update values from your update values in a current dictionary with values from other dictionary, you could just give the dot update method. Okay. So yeah, so dictionary dot update others. So I have a dictionary D of A1 and B2 and a C of B3 and C4. So if I want to update the value of D with C, I will just give D dot update C. Okay. Now A1 will be there, C4 will be there. But then B is already there, right? So dictionary D already has the key B. So what it does is it takes the other value and overrides the already existing value. Okay. So if the keys are already present, it overrides the value. Okay. So if I just run this, you can see that the D is now values A1 and B3 and C4. So this B key of value was overwritten from the C. Okay. So yeah, so those are your dictionary methods.